Hello everyone, this is Browncoat Jason with Ulterior Fantasy, and I make free supplements for the Shard Tabletop. Today we're going to talk about two features of Shard, the ability to create custom token elements and custom digital dice. These features are available in the Gamemaster Pro tier, which you can see in the subscription comparison chart over in the marketplace. These two options right here. So let's go take a look at how to use these. From the home page, in your reference section, you can go to artwork, and from here you can create both parts of this. There's two different things. Let's first talk about creating parts for custom tokens. So each of these type of tokens that you can see here have two pieces. There's a backdrop and the ring around the border. Both of those are different elements that you can create, and we'll take a look at how to update those. So let's go to upload, and let's first take a look at just creating a backdrop. This is just a really any type of image. You can scale it down and it'll automatically be cropped in the background. So we're just going to use this square image here, and in the type field we're going to change that from picture to token background. This is really, like I said, it's just shown in the background. It's not going to be a lot. You can move it around if you need to, if it's too big, and updating something like this is pretty simple. So once we have that selected, we're going to go ahead and click save, and then we'll use the same thing to do a border. So we're going to upload, we'll select a border. The border is just an overlay that sits on top of your character or monster and kind of conceals where the background and image are cropped. Shards uses a pretty simple circle crop that can't currently be adjusted, so you want to keep this in mind when you're creating or choosing token borders. But once it's selected, we're going to go ahead and change the type to token border and give it a name, save. And then once you have both of those in place, you can use those to create images or tokens. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll select another image. This is just one of the defaults that we have from Shard. We're going to give it an image, so new token, and change this to either character token or monster token, depending on how it's going to be used. That opens up the options here for picking a border and background. Go ahead and click border. Since we haven't used our new border yet, we're going to have to click more, and then we can find that default that we just created there. It's a pretty simple black and gray border. And then the same thing with the background. Need to go to more. You can select our new background, and then you can zoom and change the crop however you need to there. And then once it's been selected, click save, and now we have that new token that we can use on one of our monsters or in a map or what have you. So pretty simple there. But you can kind of mix and match those, so you can create a bunch of different token borders. You can create different backdrops, and you can use those interchangeably for all of your characters and monsters from now on. So also in Shard, we support custom dice sets. This is a little more complicated, but we can do the same thing here through our artwork. So we're going to go ahead and upload, and there's two pieces to this one as well. One is a actual die set, and one is a dice tray. So let's go ahead and select the dice set. I'm just going to use the template that's available on our Discord server, but when you're actually creating your own dice, we'll take a look at what you need to utilize that for here in just a second. So go ahead and select that, and then we need to change this from picture to dice. So you kind of see it gives you an idea of how that's laid out. Each die has to be in a specific location on the image, and they have to be scaled relatively. You can use different sizes of images here. The maximum width on here is 2000 pixels, but as long as all of the images are, or all the icon are positioned in the same relative area, everything's going to work out. But you can see you get a 20-sided die, 10-sided or 12-sided die, 10 for both standard and percentile, 6 for all the way down. So pretty simplistic there, but you can customize that quite a bit. And then the other side of the dice is that you can create your own dice tray. I'm going to use this one, which was created by Joshua over in our Discord server, but it's something that you can customize that there as well. I'm going to go ahead and change that to a dice tray. Again, you can have this be any size up to 2000 pixels tall. It just needs to be the same relative rectangle there. But once you have all those in place, there's two ways to utilize this. So if we go back to the home page, you can go into one of your campaigns here, click the settings, and go to dice, and then you can change your dice using this drop down here, and just select it. You can kind of see a preview of what that looks like, and you can also change the dice tray just by clicking on that button there. And then you can't see them very well since they're just transparent line art, but you can see if you had a full dice, you can customize that pretty well. If you don't want to use it for the entire campaign, you can also come out here to a character sheet, and for each individual character they can also select which die they want. So say they also want to utilize those new dice and they wanted to use the old dice tray. So same type of thing there. So definitely invite you guys to check out our Discord, and you can download templates, and some of our community made artwork is also available for people to use. I'll try to put a link to that in the description down below, but otherwise that should give you a good idea of how to utilize those two settings. Again, you do need to be on the Gamemaster Pro in order to utilize them. So that is definitely something that you can upgrade to. You only need to have the Game Master with those. If they have all of the elements in place, those can be shared with your players. But someone does have to have that Pro subscription in order to utilize the custom options for dice and tokens. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to hit us up on the server. We're always happy to jump in and help. But otherwise, thanks, and we'll talk to you later.